World's Fair 1893. Like I talked about in the review right up here, this is history in a box. Similar to how Twilight Struggle makes you feel with the card-driven game, this is a card system in this game that doesn't really use the cards so much. They're there for counters, they're there for points, they're there for slight actions. It's more of an area control, worker placement, somewhat worker placement type game. But is it fun? It's a really fun game, and it's a good gateway to get people to play more Euro-y style games, more games that deal with this kind of mechanics of area control and then getting certain actions and doing actions based on those things, and cubes and history and variable player starting positions, all this sort of stuff. It's very simple, but what I love about this game is that they could have just put Midway Token 1, Midway Ticket 2, Midway Ticket 3, agricultural cards in just the colors, but no, every single card in this game has some historical thing on it. There are 80, 90, 100 cards, I don't know how many there are, with a story on them. Each one has a historical thing, an exhibit, a piece of transportation, a piece that was exhibited for agriculture, transportation, electricity, all these different things from the World's Fair. And there's a little bit of blurb about Harry Houdini's in this game. You know, if I'm a magician for a day job, that's what I do for a living. Harry Houdini's in this, and this is just fantastic. It's got a little picture of him, from the era, and a blurb. It's so cool. It reminds me of Terraforming Mars too, how the cards just have this picture and a blurb. Now that's science fiction in a sense, in the sense of Epcot type science fiction. This, however, is history. It happened in 1893. In the instructions, there's an entire map of the layout of the World's Fair from 1893. Something they didn't have to do, but they did. They threw it in there anyway. How does the game play? Well, very simply, you have a nice little Ferris wheel board. You put your cubes out to try to take the areas, and then you're trying to gain favor with the people who are exhibiting, and you're trying to get them to come to exhibit at your booth or whatever like that. Anyway, the point is you're trying to control and get the most points by controlling the most areas and having the right cards at the time that you control those areas. So it's not just about controlling the areas, is you have to have the right cards to control at that same time. So when you have the area control, you can approve these exhibits and get X number of points, and it kind of scores in a little bit like Seven Wonders green cards do, in the sense that if you have 1, it's worth 1 point, 2 is worth 3, 3 is worth 5, up to 15 points, whatever the breakdown ends up being. So if you get 2, 3 full sets of these things, you can just blow everybody else out of the water. You get other points through the Midway cards and all that kind of stuff, but I can't say enough about the history of this game in a box. We're going to talk about Twilight Struggle, we're going to talk about a few of these games that are really historical, really great card-driven games, but this one is a perfect intro to that. If you had people play Ticket to Ride, if you had them play Catan, this is a great game. In that same wheelhouse of depth, but there's a little bit more strategy in this because it's area control, it's worker placement. You have to think, okay, I want to go here and here and here each turn, versus setting your city up in Catan or building this route. Well, you took that route, so I'm going to go this way. So it's a really cool way to get into area control in this World's Fair 1893. Great game. I definitely recommend picking it up just because it's so easy and it's so cool. And it's cheap. It's not an expensive game at all. It's a small box, great game. Until next time, I'll see you. Remember to subscribe, follow us, all that kind of stuff. So here's the tag at the end of the video. You're saying, Brian, I've already finished the review. No. This is the end of the video. This is the part where I tell you about my channel and Twitter. I'd love for you to follow us on Twitter at TheLatestRetro. See, I did that with my hands, assuming there's going to be a Twitter bar right here. The Latest Retro on Twitter. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. I don't think I have an Instagram set up yet, but follow us on Twitter at The Latest Retro. Also, follow us on here. If you're just watching this video and you're not subscribed, please click subscribe. We'd love to have you on this channel watching and following the videos. We try to make these videos fun, try to make them funny. This one's going to be a little bit more straightforward, no silly intros or anything like that, but enjoy and follow and subscribe. 25 games of Christmas.